Hello, namaste and welcome in the series of cybersecurity. This side is Meena and today I will discuss about which position do you want in SOC, Security Operation Center. Nowadays, number of devices are emerging. The attack surface continuously increasing because exposure to the outside world, whether that's different networks, internet, we are accessing the outside world with different devices, whether that's our routers, switches, servers, firewalls, IPS, IDS, end devices, our mobile devices, our IoT devices. So number of devices accessing outside world, and these devices which are accessing might or might not be fully patched or fully secure. Okay, and another aspect of the picture is that nowadays the cyber criminal industry is continuously growing. They are inventing advanced malware, advanced tool techniques to evade the security systems which the companies are using. Okay, so in such scenarios, SOC plays really very important role, and nowadays the growth in the SOC rapidly increasing, and number of different positions lies on SOC. So you also need to decide which you want, or do you want to be the part of the SOC team, because SOC team is highly qualified or professionals that are those are dedicated towards to prevent, detect and respond to the cybersecurity threats. Okay, so number of different posts are there, different manpower required in SOC. So in today's session I will discuss about which positions lies on SOC. And if you want to know about how does SOC work and why it is different from traditional IT department, then you can visit day 191. In this one I just explained all these things. Okay, and as you can see in this picture, there are number of professionals are working, and you can see there are number of different type of data displayed on the different screens. Okay, whether that's a common screen where the big screen, those visible to all of the professional working in the SOC, or individuals specific to their task, or collective data that's also displaying on their systems. Okay, so the SOC plays a role of, first of all, preventing. What to prevent? Cyber security threats. Okay, because threats are evolving every day, and those are the threats which they want to, first of all, they want to prevent. Whatsoever the resources companies having, they want to put, or they want to keep in such a order so that they can optimally use all the resources to prevent those threats. Okay, and if somehow any threat exists in the network, might be they are not aware. Okay, and now they want to detect it, or might be they are having idea, yes, such kind of attack is in our network, then they will just hunt it, they will find it out where is that kind of threat or the attacks exist, so they will detect it, and as quickly as possible they just quarantine the infected system. Okay, so that they can limitize, or they can decrease the scope of the damage that is done by the threat. Okay, so they will also perform that. So there is a complete loop, and highly expert people are working on in the SOC. Okay, so they are just doing all these tasks that's related to cybersecurity. So what those positions can be? For example, say SOC Manager. Whatsoever the resources allocated to the SOC, okay, whether that's related to manpower, the security devices, services, how that person or the manager will organize all these things to get the maximum output from all the resources. Okay, whatsoever the budget, where to implement or where to invest that money so that they would be able to protect the valuable information of the company and the resources intact, or they can just away the threats from the company. Clear? They SOC manager, he or she, they need to communicate with the executive managers, board of the directors, so that they can tell them what's going on, how the SOC is improving, and how the company is performing security tasks, how they are just keeping the threats away from the company. Okay, or if they found out any threats, how quickly they detected. So executive managers, they will report to them. Clear? And when we just talk about the another position, that's the incident responder. For example, the alerts pop up on the screen, okay, and they just come to know, yes, this is the threat or the incident in our company, on the specific devices, on the network, on the server. Then who will respond it? Who is a competent or the capable person or the employee will respond to that incident immediately, or they can just if the risk is low, they can give the priority to the high threat alerts or the incidents. Okay, so this is the person who will respond to the incident. And the next position is a forensic investigator. For example, whatsoever the security postures, security devices, services we are using in our company, still attacks happening. Okay, in case if the attack happens, we need to collect the evidence, we need to preserve the evidence. So who will be the responsible person to do all these things? Because forensic is a separate task than the other one, because they know how to intact the evidences so that they can present, yes, this was the attack happen in our organization. So the forensic investigator will handle all these tasks. Next is compliance auditor. Definitely when the organization having certain objective to perform, they need to comply with certain regulatories. Clear? In which particular industry is that company, then definitely the standards are there to secure the data of the company, data of the client, data of the employee, or so whatsoever the data they are dealing with. So compliance editor is responsible to just see all the what's a checklist, we can say, or what are the best practices, or what the security practices should be at their place to secure the resources of the company. Okay, so they will audit on they just audit the devices, they will audit the manpower, they will audit each and everything so that they can find out, or they can place the regularity at their place. Or if some attack will happen, and if the company is not following the certain regularities, then definitely there can be huge penalty on them, or there will be a huge damage to the organization. Okay, so the complete task is for the compliance auditor. Next one is the cybersecurity analyst. Definitely they need to understand what is the risk, what type of threats are there, who will respond it. Specialized knowledge is required to certain kind of task. Then cybersecurity analyst will find it out what risks involved in certain threats, or if what we need to perform in certain situations. So the cybersecurity analyst will perform all these things. So there are number of positions. I just discuss about what's the most common are there. It's also depend upon SOC to SOC what the designations they established. Clear? So, and when we are saying the organization model, there are different organization model exist. Whether that's you are having in-house complete SOC center, your company is having a lot of resources, manpower, so that they can establish their own in-house internal SOC. Clear? Or there can be the SOC which might be you have a team of certain people at a certain particular location. For example, say on the head office, you are having an you are the branch office. On the branch offices, you are observing the SOC operations virtually. So it can be also possible. Whether you are outsource the complete services for SOC operations, that is also possible. You don't have, you need not to keep the high cost devices on their premises, or you need not the highly educated or the expert level employee in your company, but you, due to the lack of the budget, you don't want each and everything on your premises. Just you need to have SOC as a service, you can also have. So there are the different model of SOCs, depend upon organization to organization what's the requirement is there, and definitely as per their organization model there will be the different positions. So here are the opportunity as well. Opportunities for those guys who will be expert in certain skill set, they just having the knowledge of cybersecurity as a whole, to understand the threat side as well, to understand about the defensive side as well. Number of things for the cybersecurity professionals. Clear? So follow me on the cybersecurity prism and get the notification for the next interesting and informative session. Also share that session with your friends and group members as well, so that they will be able to understand what are the different positions lies on SOC and the different organization model for SOC. And in the next session I will discuss about secure your Facebook account from hackers. Okay, so just wait for the next session. Namaste. See you in the next session.